Hey Lawrence, great to be here with you today and thank you for the time, of course. What an exciting time in the Formula One calendar as we're starting to understand how our cars are going and anticipating what the competition will be like. How are you feeling as we enter the new year?
Beyond excited. Returning Aston Martin to Formula One after 61 years is the greatest moment to happen in Formula One for decades. It's a historic moment for everybody involved, and a very historic moment to have you involved with us, and very proud that you're our partner in this what to become a very exciting journey.
Lawrence, we're ecstatic to be your partner in the year ahead, and it's really exciting for us to be associated with Aston Martin. But of course, this is a different year for Aston Martin. It's not about a sticker on a car. This is the Aston Martin team. And what does it mean for you in terms of the broader capabilities you can bring to bear in the Formula One year?
It's a dramatic departure for where Aston Martin has been. There's now 500 dedicated people at Silverstone who are designing, engineering, and building this car for the sole purpose of performing extremely well on the racetrack. And this is all one family. It's all one team getting together. It's about the technology transfer between Formula One that it will ultimately end up in our road cars. It's a technology transfer between our companies. Formula One's all about finding hundreds of milliseconds to make your car go quicker. Not so different than on road cars, just at a pinnacle, at a different level. We're also building a brand new state-of-the-art 200,000 square foot factory that you're going to help us, and jointly we'll build the greatest factory that's for modern Formula One day. Suit the purpose and fit the purpose for the rules. It's just game-changing, transformative for our complete organization.
So Lawrence, of course, being an iconic brand, you had choices, and one of your choices was the partners you bring to bear, and that's very important as you're trying to shave milliseconds off lap times with a view to getting on the podium more often. So Cognizant is delighted to be your strategic partner, to be your partner in the years ahead, and we look forward to a long-lasting relationship, and we are really confident we can help with our technology, with our cloud capabilities, our engineering capabilities, our data analytics and machine learning capabilities to truly help you.
Formula One is all about technology. It's the highest form of technology. It's when we do our first practice on Friday morning to be able to analyze that data a little bit better, a little bit quicker, a little bit clearer than our competitors to give us a leg up. So our dream was to find a partner, exactly like yourself, to be able to bring the technology input that a Formula One team needs, being at the pinnacle not only of motorsport, but the pinnacle of technology. So for us, it was a dream to find and be able to have a partnership with a technology company rather than any other industry. Nothing lends itself better to serve and help a Formula One team. And realistically, going forward, more podiums, more wins, and ultimately goal is to be world champions. We're here to be world champions.
Good. Music to my ears, amen. Lawrence, of course, we're in a different generation now than 20, 30, 40 years ago when sport was viewed differently. And as a Fortune 200 CEO, I think about corporate social responsibility, I think about diversity and inclusion. But of course, Formula One is also being much more progressive these days than at any time in its history. Any comments in terms of where the industry is going with regards to those two topics?
Yeah, and Brian, I have similar responsibility of yours being an executive chairman of Aston Martin Lagonda, which is a public company, London Stock Exchange. Listen, Formula One already, with the last power unit development, is the most carbon neutral, lowest emission engine in the world. No one really knows that, but I think if you put all our races together, if I'm not mistaken, we have a less footprint than one 747 taking off. That speaks for how important and close a matter this is to our hearts. Way before I got involved, I can tell you we're already talking and started the conversations about the next power unit, which will come out in the years to come, and how to make that greener and better. It's top of mind of all involved, the teams, the FIA and FOM. And we're all really addressing it. And we're coming out with Formula W, a women's series, and hopefully sooner rather than later we'll see a woman driver in Formula One.
Yeah.
Brian, maybe you could go into a little bit more depth of the amount of technology, what sort of technology, data transfer, analysis you'll be bringing to our Formula One team this season.
And that's why I would differentiate between the word sponsorship versus partnership here. If I think about what we can bring to the table, certainly on track side, I start thinking about mobile edge computing, cloud, Internet of Things, massive amounts of data that need to be processed real time, simulations to help us shave off those milliseconds that are ever so important in this sport. And more holistically, for the broader Aston Martin brand, of course, the B2C side of this, where our experience working with consumers around the digital experience becomes ever so important in terms of intimacy between your customers and the Aston Martin brand holistically. So I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to work with you, and I'm very, very confident that we have the technology capabilities and the digital capabilities to help you be successful on track as well as on the road more holistically.
Well, Brian, that's exactly why we entered into the partnership. And if I can speak for the whole team, we're really looking forward to getting all that data analysis real time, because all that amounts to lap time.
Indeed.
And that's what really counts.
Here's to 2021 and here's to our joint success.
We're going to have many great years together.